Hi, this is Carol from SkillCheck. Today I'm going to be talking about renting storage spaces to college students. And it's really interesting because there is a season for this. So I thought, in preparation for that, maybe we should come out with some kind of training on how to rent to the college students and what we can do to attract them. So let's get started with that. One of the things is when you start out advertising to students, you want to make sure that you offer some discounts, especially if you need the rentals and that is going to be helpful to you. Also, another way to attract them is to offer a free move-in truck. That free move-in truck, it really works well. And I will say, when you get the truck there, we tend to have like 4 or 5 students that can put their stuff in one. So we really make out a little schedule and it works well, but you have to have them sign up for certain times. And you say, we've got a 9 o'clock run and a 10 o'clock run and have, meet at the same place. And the students don't mind putting their things in. They follow us back and then they take their things out. So it's pretty easy to do. It takes a little bit of coordination. I've done it in my Hawaii stores, several of my California stores. So it absolutely will work. Also at the University of Arizona. And I have to say, it's not that difficult, but it does take someone to help plan out the trips and things like that. Because we generally don't let the students, especially if there's multiple people's things in there, there's a lock goes on it, when we leave, and then when we get to the next place, we take the lock off when the kids are there, and then they put their stuff in. The students, not the kids. I call my kids kids, and they get mad about that because they're no longer really kids. Anyway, so don't forget, offer discounts, that free move-in truck, and write some clever copy because they kind of like, things that are off center and are interesting. So, and also you can use social media networking accounts. That works really well too. You want to also think about engaging student ambassadors. If you have a big enough company, you might be able to pay some students, which seems really ridiculous to me. Consider this also social causes. When you're talking about social causes, it might be even helping, dogs get placed or animals, some kind of animal thing you want to do. There are a variety of different things that you can do to have help a cause. And look also for college media sources. And sometimes you may think, oh, well, the newsletter's not or newspaper is not really going to work, but it just may. And I think you want to try different things. But let's start with just the university college paper online because this is credible with the students because it's what they're looking at, it's what their universe is revolving around. There's also versatility of digital ads. So if you don't, it's not coming up very well, not doing so well, you can try something new. Maybe that's a new special. So when it was in print, well, it went to print and there it goes. There is some versatility in that digital ad spectrum. So, and also think about doing some YouTube videos. If you have someone young in your organization or in your house, you might try some YouTube videos. Those work also. And remember, you're trying to create that meaningful brand. And the meaningful brand is going to be, what sets you apart from someone else. And a variety of placements for these inexpensive ads that you can try. So let's talk about some of those. And I put a lot on here, but I really like Manhattan Mini Storage. Over the time, I've had lots of friends that have worked there, and they're just fabulous at what they do. I want to start just like let your personality be the reason people don't want to come to your apartment. So, they try some fun things, but they look on the right hand side, they said storage as low as $29, free move. There are things that they're showing and highlighting, even though their big banner says something else. And they've got their storage phone number up there with that's easy to remember, 2212 storage. So that's really important also. How about the bottom one? Transform your sad, tiny apartment into an uncluttered, sad, tiny apartment. That is so New York, right? So again, they're looking at their customers and trying to appeal to them in a fun way. Stop tweeting weird, well, shit, and clean your apartment. And that's kind of cute, right? It's again showing it they're special, the free move with their truck. So that's what awesome. If you store your stuff outside the city, it may come back Republican. I just think that's hilarious. once again, when you know your audience, you can have some fun with it. How about storing at your parents' means having to visit? That is one big sign there too. I really love that. And again, it's got their low $29 price, the free move in. And they realize that when people are moving, that move is expensive. So get them in the door with that $29 price. It's like Public Storage is $1 move in, but theirs is $29 and moves you in, and you just get in with their truck and everything. So those are great ads, I think. Now, with student ambassadors, this girl on the right, she's a student ambassador, but peer presence on campus can be really effective. And student ambassadors can really lead to workshops that you may have on organizing your dorm room. You can have them do videos on all kinds of things like that, or getting ready to pack up and go home for the summer. Have someone that you find on campus that can organize this and do this and make it really amazing. Remember, when you're planning those dorm move outs, you've got to get those truck trips to and from the campus and make them really seamless to the storage site. Oh, that'll help you a lot. There's also some other opportunities. So those of you that have a bigger budget for all kinds of things, marketing, you may want to use some social influencers. Now, I know this, to me, I wish I could be one of these, frankly. I try every day to try to get more than 1,000 people looking at my videos. But it's weird because everyday social media users, there are micro influencers that are like 100 to 1,000 followers. And again, I'm in that 1,000, video part. Generally make about $10 to $100 per post. 114 for video post and 43 for just an Instagram story. The mid-tier influencers, they're somewhere like between the 500 to 5,000 per post, but they get 50,000 to 500,000 followers, which is pretty substantial. And the macro influencers, they're the 500,000 to 1,000,000 plus, and that can cost you 5,000 to 10,000 per post. And it's just amazing, what this may be able to help you do, especially in a certain bracket of people that you may be trying to get that are younger. So this is how they're buying and finding things and doing things. This girl, Addison Ray, I put her up here, and then my daughter goes, "Why do you have Addison Ray on your PowerPoint?" I said, "Well, I made us making a point." She has 38.7 million followers, which is amazing to me, on Instagram. And she does lip sync videos and other things too. But it's just amazing to me that some of the people that become popular, I don't know. I just don't understand it, but it works. And that's what I'm thinking to tell you, is find something that sticks and is going to be fun and that works. One of the things you also need to remember is to be prepared. I think one of the things that I underestimated when I was doing this is, I put an ad in the University of Arizona paper, and this was in the 80s. Yes, in the 80s. And so I showed up that day, and there was a line outside the property of people waiting to get in and to rent. And we did 44 rentals that day. By the end of the day, I was up against the wall, and I just slid down the wall like, wow. And I will tell you, the weird thing about that is I had 3 girls that wanted to put all their stuff into one unit, which was fine. I had no problem with that if they all were on the agreement. But one wanted to pay with cash, one with check, and one with credit card. And I thought, no way. That was just the last thing for the day. That's all I needed. I was determined that's the last rental I'm going to make, but it wasn't. So if you know that you typically have lots of student renters, make sure that you find out the date that school is out and that you're ready and have the staffing up accordingly, based on what you think you're going to get in and how many people you're going to get in. Remember to organize and streamline the rental process, make it as quick as possible. Determine if you're going to let the multiple students share a space. And again, sometimes it depends on the number of spaces you have, the size spaces you have, so try to make it work. And usually, I've never really had a problem with that. I know some operators will say, oh, heck no, only one per unit, but as it turns out, sometimes one of them rents it anyway, and then all three go into it, and you don't really ever even know, and they don't tell you. So you never know about that. Coordinate the move-in truck and the pickups. That schedule and coordinating pickup of times are so important. And make sure, if you typically takes your truck, several students can go in one load. You don't have to just put one person's in one load. And you may have to, put it to one side, or you may have four in one, something like that, depending on how much stuff. But usually it just really depends on how many you have. Be careful to keep the packed truck organized and safe. Don't forget that. And don't let them put animals in there or anything else, okay? Because people have actually, could my dog ride in there? No, no. Well, thank you so much for listening. This again, Carol Mixon from Skill Check Services. Give us a call if you have any questions. 800 numbers up here, 374-7545, or you can website is skillcheck.com. And please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us get more views, and interestingly enough, just try to be an influencer in the self-storage industry. I try my best. But the interesting thing about all of this is that we appreciate any feedback you have, or any ideas for new webinars and things you'd like me to talk about. I'm happy to do so. If you've got pictures, send them along. Any weird stuff that you see, I'm happy to entertain all of those. Well, thank you so much, and thanks for listening. Bye.